First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, who are teaching this truth in sincerity. And a shout out to Yakim, who's going on the four quarters of the earth, and also at home doing sit downs and try to edify brothers and put lessons together, as we haven't much more time to do this. Well, I'm just going to read quite a few articles, because since the fake-ass Jews explosion in London last night, there's been more so-called terrorism around the world, more false flags, of course, to blame Syria and Iran, as provocation for war. So this also happened. 2 killed as Russian Su-30 jet crashes off Syrian coast. A Russian military jet crashed off coast of Syria's Latakia, killing 2 pilots on board, the Russian Defense Ministry has confirmed. On Thursday morning, a Russian Su-30 went down in the Mediterranean Sea after taking off from the Crimean base. Pilots fought to take the aircraft under control till the last minute, the Russian Defense Ministry said. Both of them died as a result of the incident, so they have a little bit of pictures there. So, again, if the United States wasn't in here, this would not have taken place. But while that happened, some more funny shit here, which we'll get into, because I hate America with a fucking passion. I hate all these Edomites, to be honest with you. But shocking moment. U.S. military spins and crashes into a ground is caught on video. Yeah, because America's a piece of shit. Always has been, always will be, and we can't wait for it to fail at everything it does. So this, I think it's a C-130. Anyhow, here's another false flag that's going on now in North Haven. You know that this is fake, because that's what they want you to believe, is that, explosions during domestic hostage situation in Connecticut. Injures 9 officers. Yeah. This is a Mossad operation. 9 officers were injured after an explosion rocked a house in Connecticut when police and SWAT officers were negotiating with a man who had taken his wife and family hostage. Police also discovered human remains at the site. You can best believe, and they even have it on Hulu now, the whole bullshit March for Their Lives, a whole season of Parkland. As if you didn't know that was bullshit. Multiple officers injured. I saw about 4 police officers being put into ambulance with possible injuries, now being told to take shelter. Fire is still burning. So that's going on here in Babylon the Great. Here's another one. Israelis state hints it can hit Iran's airbase in Syria if it decides to retaliate for the T4 airbase. So again, the least of their flock is drawing them out, and so you got all these things popping off everywhere. Let's just see what else they got down here. Oh yeah, here we go. Hashtag dreams and coffee beans link between a latte and crypto revealed. Yeah, because they're all pushing for this cryptocurrency, which will be controlled. There it is right there. This is what I wanted to get to. While Russia had a little bit of an omen happen, with their jet falling off the Syrian coast, over here in Babylon the Great, C-130. So I'm trying to pull up this article right now. Of course, like everything else, though, if your shit's old, it really takes forever to download. And plus, that's just Esau being the devil that he is. Let me read something else while that takes forever to load. All right. Here's another one. Chemical attack provocation with United States participation planned in Syria, source. Beirut, Sputnik. The tensions in the country have been running high since April, when media accused Damascus of carrying out a chemical attack in the city of Douma, with U.S. launching missile strikes against Syria without waiting for the end of an investigation into the case. U.S. security forces are planning provocations with the use of prohibited substance in Syria. The operation is led by former militant of Islamic State Daesh, which I call it Israeli State because that's who they're working for. Mishon Ajus Hamash. The aim is to stage a chemical attack against civilians to be further spread in the media, the source told Sputnik. So again, part of the Syria White Helmets, which we know is a terrorist group. Everybody knows that. According to the source, the preparations began on April 23. The civilians are being shipped to a territory near Jafra oil field to participate in a staged filming of an attack scene, which you know as well as I do that if they can stage something in Syria, don't you think over here where fucking Illuminati Hollywood runs everything, if they can stage this little event such as this so-called hostage situation? Of course they can. They're the 1%. Amalek. Okay, here we go. We got this. U.S. C-130 military cargo plane crashes. 9 feared dead. So, that's a good thing, because America's a piece of shit. An American C-130 military cargo plane with 9 people abroad has crashed in Savannah in Georgia near the airport, causing fire and huge plumes of black smoke. We've confirmed 9 people consisting of 5 crew members and 4 additional passengers were on board. Puerto Rico National Guard spokesman Major Paul Dallon said Wednesday, in which we know that, the deep state runs Puerto Rico. That's why they don't have any power there, because, of course. Earlier that day, officials said 5 people have been on board and all that were killed. So, pretty much all of them died, so that's a good thing. Because we wish nothing but bad omens upon Babylon the Great. Okay. Iran reserves right to respond if U.S. quits GCPOA. So you know as well as I do that, I just talked about it this morning while I was doing a lesson, that pretty much, militants leave South Damascus under deal with government, and so, and also militants surrender area near homes to government. So, all this is going on while, of course, they're trying to provocate war, by stating these false flag events. I read from the Syrian Arab News Agency. Let's see here. Speaker Sabah, Syria can defend its territory. Damascus Syrian Arab News Agency Speaker of People's Assembly Hammad Sabah said that the Turkish military presence in northern Syria represents an aggression and a flagrant violation of international laws, aiding that Syria is a sovereign nation. So, you have Gomer and all his bands there, because that's what it said. We already know about the Russian fire plane being there, but Moscow Sochi Syrian Arab News Agency, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said that balancing the U.S. presence east of the Euphrates River threatens the unity of Syrian territory, speaking to Italy's Panorama magazine. Yeah, and you know as well as I do that America's never going to leave. Syrian Arab News Agency camera kept pace with Army's operation against terrorists in Hajar al-Aswad. Terrorist attack on Damascus causes only material damage. So, let's see here. Oh, okay. Well, our people, that's a tribe of Manasseh, Cuba, but that's another reason why they hate Fidel Castro, because he also happens to be allied with Bashar al-Assad. In other words, they see eye to eye on things. Havana, Syrian Arab News Agency, a delegation from the Syrian General Federation of Trade Unions, on Thursday participated in the Solidarity Forum held by Cuba in the framework of its celebration on International Workers' Day. So, Syria delights in their, liberation. So, let's read some more here. Oh, here's another one. Well, you remember how they said that they were going to invade 7 countries? Well, Yemen just happens to be one of them. U.S. Green Berets covertly helping Saudi Arabia in their terrorism against Yemen. So, you heard it first. Well, United States owns Saudi Arabia as well as the Israeli state. So, the whore, Babylon the Great, the least of their flock, the 1%ers are controlling everything. So, here we go. A team of U.S. Army Green Berets have been covertly aiding Saudi Arabian forces in their fight against Yemeni Houthi rebels. And those Houthis, by the way, happen to be allied with Iran. This is really all about a war with Iran, by the way, according to New York Times sources. And that's another reason why they went into Iraq, is because they were a Shia government, in which Shia just happens to be, friendly towards Persia. So that's another reason why, when they created the terrorist group ISIS, that pretty much they created ISIS to also overthrow the Iraqi government of that time, which happened to be Shia-led. Because remember, the Shia leader, who was the leader of Iraq, was overthrown, with ISIS. Well, pretty much it stepped down because ISIS had taken over Iraq. That's why Iraq was attacked, with this false flag terror group. Militants get R&R in U.S. guarded part of southern Syria. And Sergei Lavrov is doing this. A part of southern Syria with the U.S. has seized under its control has become a safe haven for militants, a.k.a. terrorists. The Russian foreign minister said he added that the same militants are preventing humanitarian aid deliveries. So, again, the United States is blocking these others that have been trapped there, from receiving any aid. U.S. must immediately leave area it controls in southern area, Sergei Lavrov went to say. The Americans for a long time have been refusing access to humanitarian aid convoys, claiming that the Syrian government would not give its permission, which we know that's bullshit. This is not true. All the issues the Syrian government and the aid organizations have been settled, he said. In fact, the U.S. would not provide sufficient safety assurances to allow humanitarian access to that camp. So, who's provocating the war? Of course, America, Babylon the Great. And another one from Benjamin, not a Jew. Benjamin, not a Jew, very upset with Iraqi forces capturing Kirkuk, takes action to reclaim oil. Yeah, because we know the Israeli state wants all the goddamn oil. And that's what this is really about. So what's happened is, just like Turkey made their move, a.k.a. Gomer made their move in northern Syria to prevent the Kurdish terrorist group, because that's what Kurds are, by the way, are terrorists. See, look at that piece of shit, goddamn fucking Amalekite, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin, not a Jew, is very upset with Baghdad's decision to drive back pro-Barzani forces, which are terrorists, from the important cities and energy sites in Iraq. 1 week ago, the Iraqi pro-government forces launched a powerful offensive along the entire Kurdish former in northwestern Iraq. So you can best believe that they're going to make attacks against Iraq too, not just Syria and Iran, that they'll make attacks there, Liberating a number of cities and towns and reclaiming pro-Barzani militants from the strategic Kirkuk oil fields and the Mosul Dam. Yeah, because really they want control of all the oil. That's what this war is really about. Perhaps more upset with its outcome that Barzani loyalists in Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin, not a Jew, and the Israeli government on a whole, whose sense of oil security has been somewhat breached. So again, it's really about controlling all the oil, And again, what's happening, though, is that the Israeli head of state is currently lobbying world powers to take action against, this is the leader, Hal al-Abadi's government, and turn back the gains of Iraqi forces. So pretty much, it's going to, lead to more war with Iraq, which, whilst it is unlikely that Baghdad will cease sending oil to Israeli state, the price for its purchase will undoubtedly go up to levels that the Israeli state is traditionally uncomfortable with. So, again, this is really all about the oil. And